Welcome everybody out to Three Martini Solution Podcast. I am Ryan. This is Emilee. Jessica Wave. Jessica Wave. Jessica Wave. Casey Wave. All right. This is the first one. Hopefully it gets better from here. And we figure out the technology of how to...
No problem.
No problem? Good. I'm not going to figure it out. Jessica's okay with it. Okay. So, how was everybody's week? And what was interesting? Did you find interesting this week? Please use everything I wrote this week as a basis for your only positive comments.
So you wrote about Pi Day, and I had an extended text argument / discussion / people piling on me, which often happens in my group text, which is why I probably should avoid them. But talking about Pi Day and whether or not pie I don't know. I'm happy with anything that you can eat that's pie, but anyway.
Okay.
That's when I read your pie thing. I was like, oh, war crime. Actually, I had a war in a group text message about this. And then, of course, the next day was 315 Day, and then I'm like, there's way too many numbers associated with holidays already.
Correct.
Jessica, did you know about 315 Day?
No. What's 315 Day?
Yeah.
Well, the area code in Syracuse is 315, so the mayor and the county executive have now proclaimed March 15th as not the Ides of March. We've supplanted that now with 315 Day, where you can celebrate all things serious. So, Syracuse, sorry, not serious. That's that wasn't even a Freudian slip.
We have a lot of serious things to discuss in Syracuse, but yeah.
All right. So I guess we...
Emilee and Ryan, how did you celebrate Pi Day or 315?
I think every time I talk, maybe it cuts out.
We're having some technical issues on this side. Are you guys seeing, or do we freeze up? And yeah, so
Yep.
The same thing's happening. And Ryan's not sure if it's every time he says something into this special big microphone. Maybe that's because it wasn't.
Well, what do you think the universe is saying if that were to be true?
That Ryan has a big microphone and you guys should do all the talking. It's pretty obvious what the universe is saying.
The first pie that popped into my head when I read the Pi Day one was this Nantucket cranberry pie that we got the recipe from one of Janet's aunts, and we've been making it for a while, and it's on the internet, called Nantucket cranberry pie. It's so good. I highly recommend it. It's like a cake, but a pie, and really just good with just whipped cream or Cool Whip. You don't need anything else. The first
cranberry pie, it is very good.
Oh, so interesting. You guys just went out. Ryan hadn't done anything. I'm just trying.
Yep.
All right.
You went out as well.
Yeah.
That's why I jumped in with a save. But
That's good.
I noticed.
What? Well, so like literally when I wrote that, I did think like I'm gonna go get some pie, and then I went to get like a bunch of different pies, just like I said in there, and they were all garbage.
Oh.
Like,
So
how hard
define
is
garbage pie?
Too sweet, too chemically tasting, that kind of stuff. Because they were mainly, I think I listed out the types of pies in there, but they were all not. I mean, they were all too like
Cloying?
sickly kind of sweet and all that kind of stuff.
You need a balance to the flavors in a pie. You got the crust, and all the varieties that you can have there, but it has to balance with the stuff inside. And if there's a topping, I mean, there could be toppings.
Yeah, I did get past. I took like one small bite of each and tossed them and said, "This is just garbage."
Were they all round pies?
No, some of them were smaller. I mean, smaller, kind of like those pocket pies. But yeah, I just some of them were the round pies, and I got them from various places, and they were all garbage.
Maybe if you tried a square pie, then
What's a square pie?
pie in the shape of a square, like pizza.
Who has
pie.
heard of a square pie?
I just heard of one.
Pizza pie.
Yeah,
Pizza pie.
pizza pies are square. I have a cookbook all about slab pies that you make in like big like sheep hens and things.
Are those like a galette? Is that the same thing? Am I saying that right? A pie and a galette where you just you have the dough and you put the fruit and you just push it over. It's like a little pie, but it has a different name.
Yeah, that's the French name for it, but yeah.
Oh, the French. Okay.
I knew I was better than you guys.
So what? I think you cut out before, Casey. What was the pile-on text message thing you were talking about? Say that again.
Well, it was this. We were talking about whether or not pies on Pi Day had to be round because their relationship with the number pi and its place in the formula for the diameter and the round thing. I couldn't tell you the math formula because that's why I didn't do anything relating to math in school. But I know
radius times pi gives you the circumference of a circle, right?
Sure. There you go.
No, I think that's pretty basic. I'm surprised you missed that.
I didn't miss it. I've actively avoided it.
Oh, okay.
He unthinks it. As soon as someone tries to teach it to him, he just unthinks it. Just goes right out.
Something I've learned at my age is I can actively avoid things that I don't like. I don't have to do it.
I think of Casey as usually the smartest person in the room, just up until now.
Yeah, and if I had a nickel for every time you've said that.
My high school math teacher husband goes all out and wears his pie shirt and brings pie to school to celebrate. And that happened all through high school for me too. Pie day, math teachers, students brought in pie, and it was the best day in class all year.
That's really cool. Wait, the teacher brings it in or the students or both?
All of the above.
Oh man, that's nice.
Wow.
Experience. I personally hate pie. Pizza pie can get on board.
Pie, Casey?
Pie for dessert. No,
I prefer cake because so often, that's why I like the article, because I agree. Most pies are garbage because they're too sickly sweet or they're slimy or all the different things. So for me, if I'm going to eat pie, the chances that I'm going to have a pie that's delicious are so low that I just avoid it and I go for cake because I think the probability that I'm going to get a good cake is better.
Yeah.
See, I think people botch cake all the time. It's too dry.
So we got Casey's cake person, Jessica, cake, pie. Are you pie number one over cake?
Oh, yeah. But I mean, I was surprised how bad the pies were that I got. I mean, you have to obviously get it probably from a good place or just make it yourself if you can't find a good place, right?
Right. I normally tell people that I don't like apples or cooked apples because of apple pie. Again, because of most apple pies are slimy and it's like it's made of slugs. But I did work at one restaurant once that had the best apple pie. It was like this thick. The apples were still just a tiny bit crunchy. And then they served it with cinnamon ice cream, which will cover a multitude of sins. So it's all good.
That sounds amazing. They have to be a little bit crunchy, those apples. I'm not really into fruit pies except for that Nantucket cranberry because it has the balance of the flavors and cranberries aren't super sweet, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I like cream pies, which a lot of people say aren't really pies, but like chocolate cream pie, coconut cream pie, banana cream pie, those are all good, depending on the crust paired with the pie.
Yes. We'll save the is banana cream pie discussion for another time. I know Jessica wanted to talk about something, though, not to jump away from pies, but this last week was St. Patrick's Day, and everybody, I'm sure, had a great time.
Yeah, the holiday that children ruin.
Yeah, tell us more, Jessica. Sounded personal.
I strongly believe that there are two holidays that the children can't have, and they're Thanksgiving. There's your pie segue. And St. Patrick's Day. These are adult holidays. Children could care less about Thanksgiving, right? Let's be honest. They just ruin it for all of us. And St. Patrick's Day is my day to drink. It is right around March Madness, which has some nice correlations and connections, especially this past week. But Wednesday, my kids are wanting to know right before bedtime when we're setting up leprechaun trap and food dye in toilets, because I guess leprechauns pee green. So that's one way that you can know they've been at your house. But it's bullshit.
But did you do it?
That's the big question. Did you do it anyway, Jessica? Because you're amazing.
Are you part of the problem or the solution, Jessica?
Old enough for me to encourage them. I mean, they did
to do it themselves. Okay.
The 6-year-old's like, I'm just going to stay up all night. I'm like, Brilliant. That's the best trap. Let's do that. Stay up all night. Yep. So, I was really drunk. It's hard to recall.
I'm like,
did you set up any traps, though? Yes or no?
Oh, of course. We have, yes.
Even more important, did you post pictures of these traps
anywhere
on Instagram?
Oh, I'm not that mom. I sent you guys some photos of the beautiful traps, but they really just like me to wreck the house, which actually does help in the adult holiday, because that part of wrecking shop in the house, fun. Not fun the next day when I'm hungover and have to, put chairs right side up, but that's the only good part of it. But I think it's bullshit. Like, there should be some holidays that the children don't get to take over, and that's one of them. If they want to wear green to school, great. That's how you can participate. But the whole kit and caboodle, and of course leprechauns leave stuff too. They steal your coins. And so, but then they leave essentially candy at my house. But it's just one more things for the kids to wake up to and, live their best lives. Our parents never did this shit for us. Ever.
No, I don't even remember. It wasn't until our oldest was in school that I even heard of a leprechaun trap.
Oh, right.
Rub it in.
When did you hear about leprechaun traps?
Well, I'm a teacher, so...
Well,
they've been encouraging these for a long time. You're the ones ruining it, Jessica. You're making it fun for the kids.
Teachers of the United States that are ruining everything. All right. No, that's a bold take, but I agree.
We should research this and see whether or not leprechaun traps first appeared in lesson plans or if they appeared somewhere else. I'm betting on lesson plans.
Well, to be fair, if I was a teacher, I'd be like, a day that I don't actually have to teach anything, let's do some leprechaun traps.
And watch a movie.
Let's watch a movie and do leprechaun traps. It's really a week-long holiday, if you ask me.
It's actually a great STEM activity, guys.
So you learn skills.
I need to really pick a lane with my stance on this.
So next year, come out here, Jessica, and you can have a very adult holiday. I live in an Irish neighborhood, 2 blocks from an Irish bar. For like 3 weekends around this day, it's probably today as well, there are people in green wearing Mardi Gras beads. I don't know the association there other than they're confused, but that's fine. Hats, all the things, running around. There's music. Yeah, it's...
Well, and next year will be on Friday.
Oh.
You talked me into it.
I can't believe you know that. You're planning for next year first.
Well, usually the day is moved forward by...
Well, I think it's bullshit when it falls on Thursday and I have to show up to work the next day. I'll tell you that.
On her wall, adult holiday calendar.
I do think we should go back to Thanksgiving because it's the next holiday. I mean, it's before the next St. Patrick's Day, so we might have some control over it. And I'd like to think about who do we not care if they celebrate Thanksgiving or not, because it's those people that should be taking our kids collectively to, Sky Zone or something, and the rest of us stay home and celebrate Thanksgiving. But there's got to be a crew of people that are like, we don't care about Thanksgiving.
Right.
If anyone in the world has a better idea,
just voice it.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe it's the grandpas. They get to watch football only
Hey,
if
Casey, you had
the
another idea to stuff they're talking about, didn't you?
What?
He's just trying to cut me off.
I actually have a really good idea. If you have any inclination at all to talk about politics on Thanksgiving, you're watching the kids.
Yeah.
That actually ruins it more than Thanksgiving, I think. So if you want to talk about whoever you did or did not vote for and whatever obnoxious idea that the rest of the family doesn't share, and you're just going to try and then they're the ones who should be locked in Sky Zone with TV dinners.
Yeah.
That's a really
Pizza.
good idea.
Pizza pie.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I don't care how long you've been here.
Yeah. Well, I'm with Three Martini Solutions. I just start drinking first thing in the morning. So by 10, I don't even know where my children are. I will say my favorite thing about Thanksgiving is letting my mom know how much I hate her pies. That's what I look forward to every year.
Poor Pat.
What pies do you hate?
Everyone loves them, so at least she has some balance in her life. Her favorite to make is the pecan pie.
It could be dry.
And I feel like you said, like, cakes come about. I think pulling off a pie is much harder. Like, it's either, like, completely liquid or, like, so hard you can't get a knife through it. Like, there's rarely good balance.
No, I think pulling off a good pie is hard, yeah. But I think if you have a good pie and a good cake next to each other, I'll take the pie every time.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Nope. I'm going which is fine. This is why we should always eat together, Ryan. You can have the pie. I will take the cake, and you just don't get involved.
Fine. Be that way. So, Casey wanted to talk a little bit about the Oscars. The Oscars suck, right?
So, okay, true confession.
What was that, Jessica?
I said, but Amy Schumer doesn't.
Well, no. Who said Amy Schumer sucked?
Well, she's hosting the Oscars.
Well, the Oscars suck.
I know, but
I would watch for Amy Schumer. I didn't even know that, Jessica. Thank you for telling us that. I didn't know. I'll watch now because I love Amy Schumer. Yeah.
Yeah. There's 2 other females. It's like a...
Are we saying females still?
Some of us are.
So scientific.
Like, it's rare that... Ellen...
I think it's one of those, it's okay if you say it, but Casey and Ryan cannot say that. I'm just laying down some ground rules.
We established the ground rules early on, Em.
Okay, sorry, Casey.
That's okay.
Please
I'm still trying to...
Conversation.
I just want to find out what sucks about the Oscars. And I will tell you my bias, first of all, right? I think some of you know this. Every year I watch all of the Oscar-nominated films. I have my little scorecard here printed, and I highlight the ones that I've seen, and I go and see them. Like last weekend, I traveled in the snow down to Ithaca for a really long time to watch all of the short films. And, for 2 of them, yes, I was the only person in the theater, which I found great because that meant the sound system and the popcorn that I could eat like a feed bag, probably too much information, was all about me. But is that the part that sucks? Because that doesn't suck to me.
Well, the ratings have been down for like the last decade. Like people aren't watching the Oscar broadcast. And sometimes and I think this year is a good year where if you collectively take the group of nominated films as a whole, they're not at the same caliber as in other years. Does that make sense?
Well, the same caliber depending on what scale.
Mine. Now go.
Okay. share your criteria. I mean, and I don't know about your criteria, and you can tell me about them in a second. Maybe I'll agree. I'll probably disagree, but that's fine. That's sort of how we have our discussions, I know. But this often seems to be like the same discussion about are the Grammys important or are the People's Choice Awards important and stuff. And then
who's having that conversation? The Grammys and the People's Choice Award to drum up business? Do people talk about this legitimately?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Maybe not you. I'm fine. Maybe you and I will have to probably discuss this soon or something.
I think you're going to start talking to me about the importance of the Grammys and the People's Choice Awards from now on.
No, it's the comparison between them because it's because people are like, oh, these people, because like the Oscars and the Grammys are all about people in the industry voting on what they think is the best and back and forth. And often these, like many other areas of culture and stuff, they tend to be a little echo chambery, right? I'm sure if we had the opera awards, voted on by just opera people, opera audiences tend to be echo chambery too, right? But musical theater audiences tend to be like that too. You watch the Tony Awards, and who watches the Tony Awards? A bunch of musical theater geeks that love it, and it's But then people then sometimes when people dig on it, they're like, well, but nobody watches those Oscar-nominated films. And I'm like, but I've seen what everybody else likes to watch, and I like to watch them too. So for me, I just have seasons, right? The winter, the dark winter, I watch stories of the Oscar stuff that I think are higher representations of the craft of movies. And then during July, I watch superhero movies and Transformers where things blow up and I can't remember the plot 2 seconds after I walk out. But
okay, so convince me that this year's Oscars are actually good. Like the slate of nominated movies, and I'm
what are some of them?
And I'm more talking about the movies themselves than the actors, because you can have a horrible film, but the acting still can be good, right?
Oh, right.
So,
okay, so should we limit it to like Best Picture?
Yeah, just give me the Best Pictures.
Okay, so I can tell you about some of the Best Pictures that I've seen. I have not watched all of them yet. I'm still working on my list. That's why it's not completely highlighted. But anyway, so you have there's Belfast, which I watched last night.
And that would make an Oscar nomination.
If you've seen these films, this is going to be great.
Is that a foreign language?
If you haven't seen any of them, then I can just make something up. This is good.
So, feel free to make something up, because I don't know if I can get through 15 minutes of Belfast. Is it one of the better ones?
You might be irredeemable, Ryan, but that's fine. So Belfast, no one's seen that, right?
No.
It's a Kenneth Branagh film about Northern Ireland.
Very well done, I'm sure. I like Kenneth Branagh. I'm sure it's I'm sure it's one of those kind of Oscar films that's probably an Oscar film.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Coda, I've heard good things about as well.
I have not yet seen that one, but I'm saving that one to watch soon because I've heard it's really, really good. Don't Look Up.
Garbage. That's going to be
Yes.
controversial because a lot of people really love that.
Are you kidding me?
I thought it was fine. It was long.
Get your shit together, Ryan.
Jennifer Lawrence is great. Everybody's great. They made a bad film. That's not my fault.
I watched it to the end.
This is an example of where I think some of the acting skills are good in the film, but I didn't particularly like the film.
Right.
Thank you, Casey.
All right, I will agree with you.
I'm glad that you think Jessica's wrong also.
Drive My Car, I haven't seen yet. That's hard to get right now, but anyway, I will see that one soon. Dune.
Best Picture. I really liked it. One of my favorite films, but I wouldn't say it's an Oscar-nominated Best Film. Like, if you want to talk about the visual stuff that people do and the music and all the costuming and all that kind of stuff, I think it should be nominated for all that stuff. But if we're going to that for Best Picture, it's a lean year.
I think it's a contender just because if you look at the old Dune films, it's like this progression. You're like, oh, clearly they have made a lot of progress in what they can do. But that's another topic. King Richard, I haven't seen yet. That's on my list. Licorice Pizza, I haven't seen either, so I can't talk to that. Nightmare Alley.
Crap. That's
you saw it?
Absolute garbage movie.
Oh, I kind of want to see it
All right.
now. It's really that bad?
So seriously, like, I was surprised to see Nightmare Alley as an Oscar-nominated film.
Did you see it?
Yeah. It was predictable.
Well, it's a remake of a 1941 film, or 40-something.
Well, I wasn't alive in 40-something, and I never watched it.
Okay.
Casey, did you like it?
I did,
yeah.
But I like stylized. It's like a remade film noir. So I took film as art in college, so like this was a great.
Oh well, then I take back everything I said.
Whatever. Taking like modern like skills. Del Toro's amazing, and for him to take an older film and then remake it with all of the capabilities that he has now was great. And Cate Blanchett as the femme fatale type thing. Sorry, nobody's getting in her way. So she did make Bradley Cooper sort of look like an amateur. Not that he was bad, but like. She's just better. Okay. In like everything she did was like anyway, but that's a different story. Power of the Dog.
I saw that. I assumed that would be an Oscar-nominated film just just the way it's set up. I didn't really care for it. I wouldn't watch it again, but I thought it was well made. I don't think it was a bad movie. I think it was well made. It just wasn't my movie.
Have you read the book?
No.
The book is one of my favorite novels. Delight showed me the book, and it's one of my favorite novels and hers. But anyway, that's another.
And the book's name is the movie name?
Yes, The Power of the Dog. It's a slow. it's a slow burn, and you don't realize it until the very end. But anyway, I like that. It was weird to see Benedict Cumberbatch as a cowboy, because whenever he's speaking with the Montana accent, I'm kind of like, because I'm like, Sherlock, are you sure? But anyway, and then West Side Story.
Yeah. So, no. But here's the thing. I mean, you go through these movies, and none of them stand out as like ones that are movies. I mean, it's self-flatulation. Flatulation? I don't know.
Self-flatulation?
I love that term.
It's whatever. This whole entire list is a bunch of the Academy making movies that the Academy likes, but then turning to which is fine. But then they turn around to the public at large and say, you know, there's this kind of imprimatur of like, well, we've made this a Oscar and Academy Award nominated movie, so it should be whatever. And the rest of us are like, well, yeah, but it's not interesting. It's you know, you say slow burn, great, that's good for them. I think my point of it is like, I don't think all these movies are that relatable. I mean, and this is a particularly lean year, I think. I don't think some of these movies make it in other years. Like Nightmare Alley, like I agree, it was like really well done and really well acted. But I think the story was so predictable and there wasn't enough. I mean, if I already know how the story is going to end up, and then they go through the things, and I get it's kind of film noir and all that kind of stuff. I took one class in college on film as well. So I know everything. But it just seems like these as a whole don't really strike a chord with the public at large. And so what they're forced to, and for the last however many years, I think that's been true. And the ratings have proven that out, you know, that fewer and fewer people are watching. So yeah, like it's just getting to the point where they're trying to new things to try to keep us regular, you know, idiots interested in it. And it's just, I don't think it's going to work. I think they're missing the boat on a lot of it. And the fact that they're like, oh, I mean, West Side Story, like, even before it came out, I'm like, that'll probably be nominated for an Academy Award because it's Steven Spielberg. It's a musical. The Academy tends to like that kind of stuff. So as long as it's not Cats, he'll probably get an Academy Award. But I mean, are we talking about whether something is good or bad? Or are we talking about whether or not the great unwashed public likes it or not?
Yeah.
I think those are two different things.
Well, and I watched.
Not everyone deserves a vote, right, Casey? Not everyone deserves a vote.
For the Oscars, clearly not, because I don't vote on the Oscars.
That's right.
It's not a democracy. Like, the Oscars are not a democratic institution, clearly.
Clearly. But I think you're missing the point of all award shows. Fashion. That's why people want.
True.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up.
I personally have a really great fashion sense when it comes to and yoga pants. Like, I have a really nice mix throughout my week, so fashion is really important in my life. I still, to this day, will get super excited. My girlfriends will come over. We will pour champagne like we are fancy. We will watch the whole red carpet, wait for Jennifer Lawrence to do something super funny, like fall up the stairs or wear a backside, you know, necklace. Like that. Don't get lost in all of that, right? I mean, I have one movie I recognize that you guys just listed off. I will still watch the whole production. I will cry at the very end when the foreign film breakthrough, right? I will have full of emotion for them as they sob on the stage. It's an experience. And the hosting, like, they're good hosts. Jimmy Kimmel's been hilarious. Who's the Office guy? He's so
very memorable performances. I agree.
The Hollywood elite. Like, you just don't underestimate the power of that aspect of the Oscars.
Oh, see, I like that aspect, but with one caveat. I like to make sure that I am watching all of them who've been starving themselves since Thanksgiving, so that they can, look good in whatever they're doing and stuff. Meanwhile, I'm in my sweats on my couch covered in Cheeto dust and pointing fingers and saying, that doesn't look good on you. That doesn't look good on you. How dare you do that? Because look at those elites, bending over backwards to, so that I will watch them from my Cheeto dust couch.
Yeah. I love it. I love when famous people see famous people, like, oh my God, is that Oprah over there? And they're starstruck. The whole thing, you're just waiting for those little tidbits to come through. Yeah. You're also looking for the worst dress. I mean, Oscars is what brought us the
swan.
The swan dress. I mean, come on. Some of those are just iconic pop culture moments. Why would you?
It's a class.
Why would you deprive yourself of the opportunity to watch that live?
Well, it's a masterclass in marketing. You're watching these people who market themselves as the product, right, to each other, because they're trying to make all their little networking connections or whatever. And they're also marketing to the public. And you only want to be the best dressed or the worst dressed. And so that sometimes you're having that conversation with the stylist, right? Look, I know I can't be the best dressed, so find me a dead swan dress.
I'm making the magazines, damn it.
Because I don't want to be in that middle that no one ever talks about. It's like, Casey Johnson shows up in a black tux. Boring. That will never happen. Not that I'll ever go to the Oscars at all, but
I think now that you said you won't, you will. Now it's going to happen. I love that for you.
If I do, I might wear a black swan dress.
I think you have to now.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Which I have to say, I am impressed with many of the men in the past 5 to 10 years who have been wearing more things that are not just the black, boring tux type thing.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. But that's why, it's why people watch the Grammys too. And the American, it's all of those things. And I absolutely, every year after watching the Oscars, it has gotten me to watch a few of those films. Don't ask me to tell you which one of those.
Which ones have you enjoyed the most, Jessica?
But it has happened.
All right. Does anybody else have...
I watched them beforehand because then you can yell at the screen. Because being able to yell at the screen is super fun.
Yes.
I watch all the movies and I love to disagree and agree with the nominations. Do I think all of them should have been nominated? Oh, of course not. But do I think some of them that I like? Yes. And I will do that. And then I will vehemently disagree with their choice. That got best. You folks are crazy. But that's, as I spew Cheetos out of my mouth. And that's the part. That's why you do it, right? Stay up really, really late on the East Coast to do all of this.
I love watching the losers clap for the winners. They always pan straight to their face. That's a good part.
And in their mind, before it's happening, they're like, okay, don't react. Just smile. Exactly. Don't react. Think about something else. When are the Academy Awards? Is it this weekend?
Are they this weekend?
Sometime this month, right? Sometime in March.
Yeah.
Sunday, March 27th. Thank you so much.
March 27th.
I am so happy for you, Jessica, that you have another drinking holiday so soon after St. Patrick's Day. It's like it was made for you.
This is easy to make an adult thing because kids have no interest.
Much like 95% of the American population, children also.
This is the solution to Thanksgiving, right? So me and Jessica can send kids to your house because you don't care. You can watch the kids while we have an adult holiday.
There you go.
All right, Casey, send over all your kids. Jessica, a plane ticket is not going to be inexpensive, but we'll take it.
Mine first.
Okay. Well, it's funny, Casey, because you said that, there's the fun of watching it and yelling at the screen, which is why sports are interesting as well.
Yeah, go ahead and sell me on this one, because
I'm just trying to casually segue into your text to me that you wanted to talk about spectator sports. See how seamlessly I did that?
Yeah, that was really great. But I'm ready for you to convince me unsuccessfully that I should watch spectator sports because I just can't. I've tried.
Is that what you meant when you said you wanted to talk about spectator sports? For me to convince you to watch it?
No, I want you to tell me why you watch it. I'm curious.
For the same reasons you watch the Oscars, to yell at the screen.
Oh, so then I can
covered in Cheeto dust.
No one really cares, Ryan.
no, I fully acknowledge that a lot of people don't care about sports. Just, not people I want to watch sports with then.
I watch my own children play sports.
This is why I don't watch Super Bowl with you, Casey, because you're watching the commercials and I'm watching the football.
Oh,
it seems like a great division of labor.
Yeah.
You know what? It would be. But so here's my experience watching the Super Bowl with people who are interested in the commercials. And I've actually never watched this with Casey, so this is not a slander against Casey. I'll slander him in other ways. Is that I have literally gone to Super Bowl parties, sat down, and had people standing up talking, and the game is starting. And I remember when this first happened to me, I'm like, okay, whatever. I will sit down and watch. Everybody's going to eventually sit down and start watching the game. And people were talking so loud, walking back and forth in front of the TV. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then when the commercials come on, somebody's like, oh, the commercial's on. And everybody came then. And then they sat down, commercials were over, and they kept talking about the stinking commercials during the middle of the football game. And I'm like, this is not for me. These are not my Super Bowl watching people. And I actually think I left at halftime when that happened. And it happened one more time. And that's when I vowed I am not going to go to any Super Bowl party where people are there to watch the commercials. It is the code by which I live by, similar to Clint Eastwood in those old Western movies.
So
that is my moral code.
So you watch the Super Bowl alone?
Yes. With people driving by my house throwing things at it.
Well, you can watch the kids during the Oscars, and I'll watch the kids during the Super Bowl, because I can't want to. The halftime show this year was worth whatever football I had to get through.
You liked the halftime show, or you didn't like the halftime show?
You what?
Did you like the halftime show this year, or you didn't like the halftime?
It's one of the best halftime shows in recent years.
It was our generation halftime show, so I think those are the people that really loved it. I saw a lot of parents getting made fun of on TikTok for liking it.
Mm. Yep.
A lot of children disinherited.
A lot of children disinherited, that's right.
All right, what did you have that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, I've been contributing. I would like to go back to pie and Thanksgiving. I still think we have an unanswered question.
What's the unanswered question?
I'm just going to watch the kids. Something Ryan had said the Super Bowl that the boys love, because they love the Super Bowl, but only because it means that Dad makes snacks, like good snacks. And they do like a, cookie sheet of nachos with like piled high, and then they bring the whole cookie sheet into the family room and they eat the nachos. Like it's a thing. Put a blanket down, they have a good time, and they do like the halftime show. Stuart likes that. Does Lee watch the game?
Both of them will kind of stay engaged. Lee will stay engaged a little bit longer. We'll get him to, but after halftime, they fade off pretty quick.
Yeah, it's nap time.
Well, see, there's our common ground. I really like the snacks around Super Bowl. I mean, who doesn't? But so we could do it sort of like that. Remember that Saturday morning cartoon where Foghorn Leghorn, they click in and clock in. So I could be like, all right, clocking in for the commercials. And I'll walk out, clocking out, and I'll go to the snacks, and Brian can get in for the game part. I mean, this could be a great division of labor.
I'm for that. I wouldn't mind that. It's just those people that were talking during they were playing. So frustrating for poor little old me.
There's a really cool way to gamble during the Super Bowl.
Yes, it's called gambling.
But it's not just football, but who's going to win the coin toss? Will the national anthem last longer than 1 minute and 23 seconds? Mm-hmm. Which commercial will come first? A Budweiser or Heineken?
I'm totally into this. How do we do this?
These are prop bets.
Here, I found one. Damn you! Get out here.
Put some clothes on. Just kidding. Don't. You're home.
Maybe you could
feel comfortable.
Call that kid's parent. I'd like to talk with them.
Call her teacher.
Call her teacher.
It's Mrs. you.
I don't think we're using that anymore either, Jessica. We should have a talk.
Here, you have to pick who you think the MVP is going to be, and I put Tom Brady. It's the only player I know.
You might not have won that one.
I know.
They're called
Although
puppets.
he's coming back for next year. Even I know that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was his choice, though.
Oh, really? Is somebody blackmailing him?
Like,
That's what I thought.
No, I think his wife was like, "You're not staying home. You need to get out there and be a winner." Like, I don't think she stays married to non-winners.
Well, clearly.
I think Giselle is kind of like, "Listen, this is what's going down here. Yeah. You need to do your part in this, like, you know, A-list marriage, and since that's all you got, get out there and do it again."
There was lots of memes about, like, after 3 days of homeschooling his children.
Well, I've got to think, if you make a decision like that, it's obviously it was like a fake decision. So it makes him seem untrustworthy. I mean, I would say I don't trust him moving forward.
Moving forward.
And I'm almost thinking back to footballs that had something about air inside, and I'm totally sure it was him now.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was part of it. I mean, I think there's been trust issues there. Another speaking child, ever since, you know, the famous picture that in the private jet with the Ben Affleck's nanny wearing all of Tom Brady's Super Bowl rings. Yeah, that was her power move.
Yes,
I didn't even know about this.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to know. I would love to hear that conversation between Tom Brady and Giselle.
Oh, my gosh. We have so much in common. This is how I connect to football, for sure.
We're watching the Super Bowl together.
Yes, we are.
Ryan would love to join you.
I'll bring the gambling sheets.
You bring the gambling sheets. We'll coordinate on the snacks. Ryan can take care of the football and let us know who's playing and who's winning. Emilee, are you coming for the commercials or the football?
No, I won't be there for any of it. I stay away. I don't want to make the mistake of talking.
That's a big mistake.
It slips out sometimes, so I stay on a different floor.
The only thing when the game is on, the only thing that you're allowed to say, is something towards the TV loudly.
Oh, so if I come and watch it and I'm like, "What's going on?" that would be okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Strangely enough, yes.
What team is that?
That might also work.
Why are they throwing that thing?
That's what you're doing? Why?
So angry.
Why is that coach yelling? He seems real upset.
Why does he mouth? What is he saying?
All of these things I have said to the TV before, yes. Okay, well, folks, unless you have anything else, that's it. Hopefully, we'll figure out the technical difficulties and get everything straightened out for next time. But otherwise, that's it. Thanks, everybody.
Right.
Have a great Saturday.
Bye.
Yes, thank you. Jessica, it's nice to bond with you over our love of pop culture.
Oh, I love it. All right, guys.
We're going to talk about